Do you like music? Maybe like classical music or jazz or blues or country or folk, opera. What about rock music? We love rock music. Well, today we're going to read Rock Legends Who Changed the World, written by our friend Ashley Morales and illustrated by Giovanna Medeiros. Let's read it. Ambition is a dream with a V8 engine. That's what Elvis Presley said. Elvis was born in a small shack in Mississippi. When he discovered rhythm and blues music, he began to experiment with his own version of blues, which soon became a hit. His new sound created the legendary music of rock and roll. In the 1950s, he recorded many chart-topping songs and even starred in several movies. Elvis became known as the King for his distinct style and leadership in bringing rock music to the mainstream music world. Thank you very much. Buddy Holly, I've got to play in front of people. If I'm not moved, how can they be moved, he said. Born to a musical family in Texas, Charles Holly began to play music from a young age. He quickly grew in fame and became an inspiration to others in the 1950s, gaining the nickname Buddy Holly. He pioneered many recording methods singers still use today, and he is the reason most bands use 2 guitars, 1 bass, and drums. Buddy lived a short life, but he was one of the first musicians included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and continues to inspire others with his music. Music should be made to make people forget their problems, if only for a short while, said Chuck Berry. Charles Chuck Berry grew up singing in a Baptist church choir in Missouri. His soulful style and unique beats helped shape the rhythm and blues and rock and roll genres of music. He believed music should help people feel emotions. He was one of the first major electric guitar players and made guitar solos in songs popular. Chuck is known as the father of rock and roll because of the great impact he made on both its style and culture. The Beatles. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. John, Paul, Ringo, and George began playing together in shows as a band in England. They became superstars in the 1960s and created what the media called Beatlemania, as their popularity quickly swept the globe. The Beatles have sold over 800 million records, and growing, around the world, and are the best-selling musical group in history. They are considered the most influential band of all time. Jimi Hendrix said, "Music doesn't lie. If there is something to be changed in this world, then it can only happen through music." Jimi was the first to create extended song times in rock and roll and is considered the trailblazer of progressive rock. His most famous performance was of America's national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, at a musical festival called Woodstock. The music Jimi created was far ahead of its time and continues to influence musicians to this day. Aretha Franklin said, "It really is an honor if I can be inspirational to a younger singer or person. It means I've done my job." Aretha Franklin was born in Memphis, Tennessee, in her family home. As the Queen of Soul, she combined her gospel music background with rock and roll to become the first woman to land over 100 hit songs on the famous Billboard music charts and be included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She sang for presidents and civil rights leaders and even filled in last minute at a big performance for a classic opera singer. Aretha was declared the greatest singer of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. Speaking of Rolling Stones, the Rolling Stones. It's only rock and roll, but I like it. Often introduced as the greatest rock and roll band in the world, the Rolling Stones band from England swept the world during the British invasion movement of the 1960s. They were one of the first bands to tap into the teen market, helping create hippie culture with their wild style of rock. To date, the Rolling Stones have performed over 2,000 live concerts. It's only rock and roll, but I like it, yes I do. David Bowie. What I like to do is try to make a difference with the work I do, he said. David Jones, better known as David Bowie, was a rock legend and fashion icon from England. He helped start the glam rock genre and paved the way for experimental artists of all music types. He liked to give his audience a flashy show when playing his music. His stage costumes often included feathers, long robes, sky-high hair, and even colorful makeup. Bowie was a leader at reinventing oneself to help others change how they see the world. Stevie Nicks. She said, "We all really basically have a lot of magic. It's only those of us that choose to accept it that really understand it." Stevie Nicks is the first woman to ever be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. She is known for her unique voice, stage personality, and beautiful song lyrics. She wrote and performed several popular songs with her band Fleetwood Mac, and is as a solo artist, and she has worked with many well-known musicians. Stevie shows that women have a place in rock and roll. She helps young artists find success while also standing up for the LGBTQ community. Queen. Music is limitless, he said. Queen is considered the leader in arena and progressive rock and is a band unlike any other. Freddie, Brian, Roger, and John began playing music together in England in 1970. Freddie Mercury, often called the greatest lead singer of all time, wanted the band to experiment with stage performances and recording styles so they combined heavy metal, progressive rock, and opera sounds to create something entirely new. This new dramatic sound made Queen one of the best-selling bands in the world. So, which of these artists do you know or have listened to? Perhaps you can listen to one of these rock legends' songs and see if you like it. Rock Legends Who Changed the World. Written by Ashley Morales and illustrated by Giovanna Medeiros. Published by Familius.